4, which is sharing your videos, and there's part 1 and part 2 I want to cover here. So sharing your videos, part 1, which is the most cost-effective traffic campaigns you're likely ignoring. So the next strategy I'm going to share with you is something that I don't see a lot of people utilizing, but it can be a really effective way for you to start taking your video content, taking a video that you just recorded or scripted with AI, recorded in mere minutes, and then taking that and then again in more minutes, have it up and running on YouTube ads in a really cost-effective, simple way that doesn't take the bells and whistles that you need to actually set up and run a profitable YouTube campaign. Because I will be sharing our process for running a full-on campaign in a few moments. But if you just want to get your video content out there and start reaching more of your target market, there's a way you can start doing that by leveraging the 3 content campaigns that work really well. And what they are, you taps into what makes YouTube way more powerful than Facebook. Because for people that have watched my YouTube ads workshop, YouTube ads magic workshop, you'll recognize this slide. The slide where people go to Facebook to switch off and people go to YouTube to switch on. And that's the reality. People go to YouTube to switch on. When people go to YouTube, they are engaged. They're in uptime. They're looking for information. They're looking for education. They're looking for entertainment. They're on the lookout for solutions to their problems. They're on the lookout for content. They're on the lookout for videos. And if we put our videos in front of them the right way, we can start to get a lot more traction and a lot more traffic in a way that makes it so much easier than just running Facebook ads. And there's 5 reasons why I love YouTube over Facebook. The first one is it typically can be easier to scale. Compliance is not an issue mostly. Creatives get a lot more mileage. So you can take one video ad and get a lot more mileage on it. For example, we have a client now who's in a very competitive space. They're in the financial space and they're in the faith-based space combined. And we are scaling them on a day 1 ROAS of break even and an overall ROAS of 3x. So, and we're currently scaling them, and they're on point to be spending, next month they could be spending anywhere from between 100 and 150 grand in ads. And that's on a day 1 ROAS of breaking even on day 1. And then like their overall ROAS in terms of overall sales, in terms of payment plans and everything else that comes in, they're on a 3x ROAS. So for every dollar they invest, they're making $3 back. So if they invest $150,000 next month in ads, they're on point within 30 days to bring back at least 2x or 3x in ROAS. And they're doing it all with just one video. Just one video. They don't have thousands of creatives that they might need to have on Facebook where you'd have to be testing, headlines out the wazoo. You'd have to be testing image creatives, video creatives, placements in terms of right-hand column, stories, newsfeed, and everything else, and all the nonsense that comes along with Facebook. They're just testing one video ad on YouTube right now using our advertising architecture scaling framework, and they're scaling it out of the wazoo with just one video. And that's what I love about YouTube. Your creatives get so much more mileage once you have the right creative. And fourth, you get less placements and more attention. So there's not tons of placements, there's very few placements, but you get more attention. You get at least 5 seconds of your prospects' undivided attention. So again, those 6 hooks, one of those hooks is going to hook them in and get their attention, and then keep their attention with the rest of the framework of the ads, or how we actually showed you how to put together the ads. And then 5, the main reason why I love YouTube over Facebook is because Google knows everything. Now, if anybody who's been through my YouTube ads workshop, the next couple of slides are going to be very familiar to you, but they're going to be very beneficial going back over them, especially if you haven't implemented as much of the workshop as you would have hoped. And hopefully after today, knowing how easy it is to create these videos now, you will be implementing after this. So Google knows everything. So according to W3 Tech, 54.8% of all websites have Google Analytics installed. Now, even if you don't have it installed on your own site, you use it every day to run your business, to do the things you love. The sites you visit every day and the sites you use every day do have it installed. So like if you use ClickFunnels or Kartra or Kajabi, or you use WordPress or all of those things, all those big conglomerates do have analytics installed. And this means that Google knows everything. And this is good news because that allows you to tap into all of the data of Google Analytics that Google has compiled and found and given to advertisers on Google Ads, on YouTube Ads, on Google Display, and everything else in between. And you can leverage this in some very sneaky ways. because Google has built audiences out the wazoo that you can tap into, and you can start targeting with YouTube ads and with the video that you just created, and you want to start sharing it on YouTube now with the way I'm going to show you. You can start tapping into the right audiences in a way that just you can't do on the likes of Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So they've built affinity audiences, which allows you to reach users based on what they're passionate about and their habits and their interests. They've built in-market audiences, which is reaching users based on their recent purchase intent or past purchases. What these are essentially buyer audiences. Google have built out buyer audiences. You've heard the saying that a buyer is a buyer is a buyer, and you should be building a list of buyers versus a list of prospects. Google have gone ahead and built the ultimate list of buyers that you can just start tapping into and start reaching with display ads, with Gmail ads, discovery ads, search ads, and video ads, not shopping ads, not yet anyway. They've also built detailed demographic audiences, and you can reach your audiences based on their demographic profiles as well. But the cool thing about Google ads and YouTube ads is that you can build your own audiences using the data from millions of websites. You can tap into the data of Google Analytics and build your own audiences, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in a couple of moments. But for anybody who doesn't have this list already, or anybody who wasn't in our YouTube ads workshop and does want this list, I will be including it as part of a bonus to this workshop, and I will be giving it to you. It's all in a Google Ads sheet. It covers the infinity audiences, the in-market audiences, and the detailed demographics. You can, I'll share it with you guys as a bonus for just this workshop, so you have it. So don't worry if you were thinking, oh, how can I get access to this list? I'm just going to give it to you. So here are 5 powerful custom audiences you can build using data from millions of websites. The first one is a custom affinity audience. So a custom affinity audience is people who will search for any of these terms on Google. So imagine you are in the tennis niche. So you can create an audience of people who've searched these keywords. Now, in the past, with our skippable in-stream ads, when we wanted to drive conversions, we could create keyword audience. We could target keywords, we could target placements, and we could target topics. We can no longer do that with when we're creating skippable in-stream ads where we're driving conversions. But that's okay, because they've just, at first it was like, oh my God, we can never target them again. But the reality is we can create our own custom audiences of these keywords and still target these people in a more scalable manner, because it's for people who have searched any of these terms in Google, not in the present, but in the present or in the past as well. So, or if they search them in the future as well, which is really cool. So we have custom affinity audiences. We have custom intent audiences. So custom intent audiences is people with any of these interests or purchase intentions. So it's people who are interested in purchasing tennis lessons, purchasing tennis tutorials, purchasing a tennis course, purchasing tennis coaching. We can create an audience of these people. We have custom URL affinity audiences. So we can target people who are visiting websites similar to tennis.com, essentialtennis.com, tennisgate.com, tennishead.net. This is just a tennis example. But if there's remember the top 5 websites that our prospects are visiting that we built out in our customer avatar, we can build out custom URL audiences for people who are visiting these audiences. Their top 5 favorite movies for people who are searching these terms. Their top 5 favorite books for people who are searching these books. The top 5 favorite influencers. We can create audiences of people. Everything from our avatar profile starts to really come into play when we start tapping into YouTube ads and YouTube audiences and Google audiences. The fourth one, which is super URL targeting, and this is a hack that I think is really, really cool. And still, even though I've been sharing this for quite some time now, I still see very few people leveraging it. And that's where you target the logins to your competitors' membership sites, or the login to any software programs they might use. You can put in the exact URL login, and if they're logging in there, it means chances are they are a buyer of their programs, which means they may want to be a buyer of your program, which is pretty cool. And then we also have app affinity audiences as well. So people who are using apps similar to whatever example you want to use. This is just a 10x example. So once we have our audiences, then we can start to put together our most cost-effective traffic campaigns you're likely ignoring. And what that campaign is essentially 3 campaigns. And I'll describe it here. It looks like a big mess here, but it's one of the coolest YouTube campaigns and most cost-effective YouTube campaigns you can run. So the first campaign is a cold ideal audiences campaign. So you would choose, go back to your avatar, and let's say we're working with a problemware avatar that ChatGPT produced, and it has top 5 favorite movies, top 5 favorite books, top 5 favorite influencers, and top 5 favorite visited websites. We'll create an audience, one audience for each of those areas. So we could end up with 15 to 20 audiences. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a campaign targeting those audiences where our goal is just getting views on the video we just created. And the asset is just the video that we just created. So that video that we just edited, the video that we just shot, the video that we just scripted out using ChatGPT, our goal is to get views on that video, just views. We're not looking for conversions right now. We're just looking for views. We just want to reach out to that massive pool of cold audiences and start getting views on that video. And I'm going to show you how easy this is in just a second. Campaign number 2 is we're going to target the video viewers of that video only. We're only going to target the viewers of that video that we've just set up in campaign number 1. And the goal here is we're going to have a video that asks them to subscribe to our channel. So the second campaign asks them to subscribe to your channel, which builds up your YouTube channel, which builds up the number of subscribers that you have on your channel, which is good for overall growth. And then the third campaign is targeting only the subscribers of your channel. And here we're sending them to your website or to your funnel. So what we're essentially doing is we're breaking up into like a cold traffic, warm traffic, and like hyper hot traffic. And we're just targeting them specifically that way. This was a very popular method on Facebook ads a while ago. It's still used to a certain extent today, but very, very few people are using it in terms of YouTube ads. But in terms of a very cost-effective way of you getting your new video in front of people, this first campaign, you targeting the cold audiences with a video views campaign is a very cost-effective way of doing that. And I'm going to show you how easy that is in just a couple of moments. Video in C2 is specifically saying, hey, you've checked out one of my videos on X, Y, and Z. If you like that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel where I share a new video every single week or every single month or every single day, whatever the frequency is. And on the channel is all about X, Y, and Z. Click the link below. You'll be brought to the channel where you can subscribe straight away. The video is essentially that. It's less than 30 seconds long, but it's a really good one because you're targeting the video viewers only of your previous video that worked really well. Hope that clears that up. Essentially what we're doing is we're using the first campaign just to get video views in this new video that we created. So we're getting video views as quickly as possible. So I want to show you a live example of actually setting this up because it's very, 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 very easy to set up. So I want to show you exactly how we set this up right now. So just let me share my screen here. I'll pull up my Google Ads dashboard. So this is just a dormant campaign that we have that I use for tutorials and stuff like that. And there has been some campaigns in the past in here, but I just use it for tutorials. So we're going to go here to create new campaign. I'm going to go new campaign. And we're going to go create a campaign without a goals guidance. Now, if we go sales campaign or leads campaign, it'll lock us into driving conversions, which is normally what we want to do. But we want to when we want to create a super quick campaign where we can start getting video views and start getting traction as quickly as possible, we're going to use a different campaign strategy. So we're going to go create a campaign without goals guidance, and we're going to create video here. And these are some of the options that we have, but we're going to create custom video campaign. So we're going to have to give our campaign a name. So normally, I would like a naming convention we would do is like your initials, what we're doing, so the promo that we're promoting. So it might, let's say we call it like ChatGPT video promo. The goal of the campaign here, it's just views, and the date. So today we'll just put in 03/23, and that's essentially it. Bid strategy. Here we have two bid strategies. We have cost per view or target CPM. Because we're a video views campaign. Now, if we were doing a conversions campaign, we would have a target cost per conversion, or we would have maximize conversions. But here we're just going to do maximum cost per view, which we'll get to in a second. Campaign total or daily total. Let's say we just want to spend, let's keep it low for a second. Let's say $10 a day. Start date, end date, none. Here, we want to turn off the video partners. So when we're doing a video views campaign, we can turn off video partners on the display network. When we're doing a conversions campaign, we cannot turn off the video partners on the display network, but we do have a workaround for that as well. Then we choose our country, we choose our language. I'm going to leave the related videos off for now. I'm going to take off TV screens, which is normally what we do. I'm also going to do frequency capping. I'm not going to cap impressions because we get charged based on views. We don't get charged based on impressions, but I am going to cap views. So I'm going to cap it to say 1 view per day or per week or per month. Typically we do one, if we have a large, we know we have a super large audience and a super large total addressable market, we would do one per day. If we have a smaller total addressable market, if you're dealing with more of a defined niche, maybe you're like dealing with local, or you're dealing with a very small market, like maybe you're dealing with just a small pool of dentists or a pool of orthodontists or cosmetic surgeons or whatever the case may be, we might limit it to 1 per week. But I'm just going to leave it at 1 per day now. And then ad schedule, if you know that people respond at certain times, you can leave that, but I usually just leave that blank. Third-party measurement. If you want to use that, you can, but again, we normally just leave that. Ad group name. The ad group I usually call it whatever audience is. So let's say I'm going to target like whatever our audience name is. I'm going to say audience example 1. Demographics. Choose your demographics. Let's say we're just targeting 35 to 64. And we don't want the lower 50% of household income. We only want 50% and above. Audience segments. This is where we actually get your creator audience segment. As you can see here, it says select audience segments to define who you should see your ads. You can create new segments in the audience manager. So over here, we have the audience manager. If you want to create like the audiences that we said, let's say, you know, in our avatar, we have their 5 favorite books. So we could create an audience of people who are like purchase intentions around, let's say what one of the books was. I'll just pull it up here for a sec. I'm just on thing here. So, okay, so then I'm going to actually go back to the problem aware avatar of the of relationship Rhonda. So problem aware avatar, their top 5 favorite books were the 5 love languages. So let me see, the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. So I'm going to take that, go over here. So love languages book. So that's the name. People who have interests or purchase intentions, the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. Now, obviously, here we go. We know that in this segment, there's 100 million to 500 million impressions. Gender, 73% female. Age range, 18 to 24. 50% of them are non-parents. And the topics are romance, fun tests and silly surveys, family relationships, fun and trivia. So that's one audience that we could create. Now, I'm not going to create it here because this is just a dormant account. We could do the exact same for the other one, which is the bridges of Madison County. And basically, we're just going back to ChatGPT and the avatar created. And we create one audience for every single section. So one audience for each of the movies, one audience for each of the books, one audience for each of the websites, one audience for each of the media influencers. And we end up with essentially 20 audiences that we can target either collectively all at once, and Google will spread the budget amongst whichever responds the best, or we can target each one audience per campaign. Now, if you wanted to get super granular, I would do one audience per campaign. But if you just wanted to get video views as quickly as possible and see which audience produces the best as quickly as possible, you could just lump them all into the one campaign, either or. But ahead of time, you could create these audiences and then you could target them. Let's just assume that we didn't have them. We had them created here. You can also search for audiences here. So let's say romance novels. So here we go, in market for romance books. And let's just say this is just the one audience that we're targeting. And I'll give you available impressions, 9.1 million available impressions every single week. And then we're not going to do any keywords. If we were doing a conversions campaign, we can no longer do keywords, topics, or placements. But because we're doing a video views campaign, we can do these, but we're not going to utilize them just for this example here, we're just doing the audiences, remember? So I'm just going, this is just an example video I have here. It's just a video just to show you how quickly this is. And then we're going to do a skippable end stream. And then here's where this is where you have an option. You can either send them to the video to watch the video, or if you want them to do that, or you can send them to your funnel. Now, in a video views campaign, depending on your overall strategy, obviously our overall goal is leads and sales. So you send them to your funnel. So whatever your funnel may be, let's say if it was, e5agency.com / this is just a homepage, but if there was a particular landing page, and then we would have like e5agency.com, call to action, let's say sign up. And here what we can do is we have the display URL, we have a call to action, 7 to 10, we have a headline, and the headline will be like, click here now. And in the bonus section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to actually create Google ad content. So like in terms of Google ads, in terms of when we're doing skippable in-stream ads to get conversions, we have to use a full headline, we have to use long description, and we have to use a couple of descriptions and long headlines as well. And we can actually train ChatGPT to take your avatar content and produce copy that you can use when you're setting up your ad. So you can use it yourself. Typically what we would normally do if we're driving them to a lead page or a landing page where they register for a webinar or download a lead magnet, we would typically use the headline and the topic of the webinar, or the case is, as the headline and the descriptions. But we can also train ChatGPT to produce this content as well if we want to. Similarly for AdWords as well, we can train it to produce ads for AdWords. And then we have our ad one, pretty much it there. Maximum cost per view. It says you can improve your campaign's potential reach performance when using a bid of 9. I usually go 1 or 2 cents above what they recommend. Not $11, 11 cent. And then we create campaign. And then the campaign is going to start, it'll get approved pretty quickly because YouTube approves a lot quicker than Facebook. And they're not as compliant heavy as Facebook. Account shutdowns are pretty much few and far between. Whereas on Facebook, it's pretty much, you have problems like nearly every single week. It can be a nightmare. And we hit create campaign, and that's our easy campaign created. Just like that, using the video that we just created. Super simple to start getting video views in that campaign and driving people to your offers very, very cost effectively with that one campaign. Now, that one campaign is just a video views campaign. The overall structure of creating full-on YouTube ads is covered in the YouTube Ads Magic Workshop. For people that are interested in getting access to that workshop, do send me an email on john@e5agency.co, and we can hook you up with getting access. We'll make sure you get a good deal on that. Some people on this have already watched it. If you have watched it, you've already gotten access. But like it's super easy to start getting views on the video you just created. You scripted the video with ChatGPT. You shot the video super easily, either using AI or hopefully you shot it yourself. I've shown you a really easy method to do that. You've edited very, very easily, and in minutes you can have that video up on YouTube, getting you views, getting you clicks to your website, getting you clicks to your funnel, and that can be done very, very easily and very cost effectively. Now we have to get to the full-on section of actually driving consistent, predictable growth with your video ads and with your video content, and that's part number 5.